Hey travelers, Mag and I here on day 324 of our trip around the United States. We are 3 weeks away from completion of our goal. That is 21 days on the planned schedule. Aichan and I took the whole day off yesterday, found one geocache just to maintain that streak, and otherwise we sat in a beautiful park in Chihuahua and just edited videos all day long. We are caught up, and I have enough lead time to go ahead and make one more paradigm shift in our plan. From here on out, we're going to be approaching this as a daily video series once again, with a couple of exceptions. There are a few days in there where we're still going to have to combine, but for the most part, for the next 21 days, we'll be running videos every single day as we make our way through the remaining 20 counties and the last few pages along the northern stretch of Washington, the western portion of Oregon, and the northern part of California. Today, we are beginning in Ruby, in the farthest northeast corner of Washington state. Today's route calls for us to move 320 miles. From here in Ruby, at the farthest northeast corner, we're going to be moving pretty much directly west all day long, tackling the top 2 rows of pages in the state. 38 is going to be a little bit of a detour for us, but otherwise I think the other pages are going to be pretty well spot on. We've got a trip planned into Crystal Falls, we've got a trip planned into Kettle Falls, and I see no problem with us making it all the way to Twist by the end of our day. I'm very excited for what the road in Washington has ahead because A, we have enough lead time to still enjoy ourselves and take things at a casual pace, but B, still get out there and get all the footage we want to show you the great places we're going to be seeing across the country. All of the major hikes are behind us, so for the most part, Aichan should be able to handle everything we have planned up ahead. So let's start moving our way west along the northern border of Washington and working our way out of the state, starting from here in Ruby, and we're going to see what the road has ahead. Come on, let's go.
Our day begins in the furthest northeast corner of the state, traversing the Colville National Forest. The 1.5 million acres that this forest covers includes Kettle River, the Selkirk Mountain Ranges, and the upper reaches of the Columbia River. This forest is one of several midnight reserves created on the 1st of March in 1907 when President Theodore Roosevelt set aside 16 million acres for new reserves, right before signing a bill that would prohibit future presidents from creating any new forest preserves. On our way through the forest, we make a stop off to enjoy the serene cascading view of Crystal Falls. This little treasure makes a graceful descent over 60 feet through a series of cascades, ending in a dramatic 30-foot drop. Aichan and I both took the time to enjoy marveling at this beautiful sight before making our way back up from the falls toward the car once again. As is the case with pretty much every other day on the road, we allowed the geocaches to guide our route from one spot to the next. This is of course what brought us to Crystal Falls in the first place, but also what kept getting us out into the forest time and time again. Despite how late into the spring it is, the mountain air is cool and crisp, giving us optimal conditions to get out here and search. I think I have the favorable weather, more than anything else, to thank for Aichan getting out here to help me with each of these. Dog or human, who could pass up a romp in the woods with optimal weather conditions like this? Out of the forested mountains, we come into the city of Colville, the county seat of Stevens County with a population of about 5,000 people. This city saw its beginnings when John Work established Fort Colville near the Kettle Falls fur trading site in 1825. The fort, about 3 miles northeast of present-day Colville, was abandoned in 1882. The residents in the area of the fort had moved their businesses and buildings to their present location by the end of the year. The following year was consumed in details about getting the county seat moved to this location, which finally occurred on January 1st of 1884. Just shy of crossing the Columbia, we come into the city of Kettle Falls with a population of about 1,700 people. Our primary purpose here is to take a short trail out to see Myers Falls. Found just upstream from the hydropower facility, it is a small 15-foot drop along the Colville River. Whether it's a drop of hundreds of feet, 80 feet, or a mere 15 feet, Aichan and I enjoy any opportunity that we're given to come check out one of these works of nature. We enjoyed the quiet, scenic setting that the trail to and from the waterfall provided almost as much as we enjoyed getting to make all of the finds along the way this morning. Since this state, like its nearby neighbor, Oregon, disallows micros from the county challenge, we are sure to hunt down only listings that are at least a small or larger. I have my suspicions that in both of these states, the hiders are well aware of this criteria and have tailored many of their listings so that they're presented as at least as small, even if they're not really that big. Not that that matters much to Aichan and I, as, for us, it's all about making the find in the right geographic location regardless of size. Our morning draws to a close across the Columbia River as we approach the White Mountain Fire overlook. This lookout point, located at an elevation of just below 7,000 feet, was completed just a little more than 100 years ago in 1922.
Lunchtime for Aichan is an important time of day every day now. Since we got out of Colorado, this food, which used to be a mix-in with her food at night, is now her lunch food only, and she eats much better at night. And it looks like she's hungry because we've been hiking in the forest all day long.
With lunch devoured, we come into the small city of Republic, the county seat of Ferry County, with a population of about 1,000 people. Founded by gold prospectors, at one point in time, this was the largest mining camp within the Republic Mining District. The Colville Indian Reservation had been vacated as of February 21st, 1896, and by March 1st of that same year, prospectors were making claims along the nearby Eureka Creek. Just a few days after the prospecting claims began, Thomas Ryan and Philip Creaser made the Republic claim on March 5th. By April 18th, the Republic Mining District, then called the Eureka Mining District, had been established. They had certainly staked their claim on the right piece of land, as the Republic Mine would eventually become the highest producer of gold anywhere in the county. For our next stop, we hop down the road to the city of Tonasket to visit the U.S. Armed Forces Legacy Memorial. The official groundbreaking for the memorial took place on Veterans Day of November 11th, 2009, to provide a place for veterans to be honored. The memorial includes the names of over 1,400 veterans from across 38 states. We enjoy the drive and the scenic view it provides in equal measure as we slide into the small town of Conconcully, with a population of only about 200 people. Our target here isn't really to be found in the city though, but rather within the 97-acre Conconcully State Park. Within its boundaries, we find a replica courthouse cabin and a bell from a school that once stood right here on these very grounds. This park, completed in 1910, also represents the oldest Bureau of Reclamation irrigation project to be found anywhere in this part of the country. It was born as a direct result of the completion of the Conconcully Dam in 1910. With 5,400 feet of shoreline available, it is the perfect place to go camping, boating, set up a picnic, or go track down a geocache. Of the available activities here, I have no doubt that you can guess exactly which one we chose to pursue. I was a little surprised to find this one in the sign though, as I'd actually thought it would be hidden in the rocks. I suppose I was just a bit premature though, as the next one down the line was hidden within the rocks, or more precisely, underneath the rock.
When you're describing geocaching to someone for the first time, it's hard to make them understand just how clever some of these containers can be. But rest assured, this game is really only limited by the creativity of the hider. For example, the entire time you've been sitting here listening to me, you've been staring right at a geocache. Very, very well camouflaged in here. Definitely getting a favorite point from me.
With our day on quick approach to its end, we come into the small city of Winthrop with a population of right about 500 people. Like many other areas in this region, it was first inhabited by Native Americans, with white settlers not showing up on the scene until the late 1880s. Motivated by the potential for gold in the area, James Ramsey, Ben Perrigan, and Guy Waring were the first settlers to establish homes in the area. While Guy Waring is recognized as the founding father, the town itself draws its name from Yale graduate Theodore Winthrop. Unfortunately, a devastating fire swept through the town in 1893, destroying nearly all of the buildings. Against the odds, with shelves full of alcoholic beverages, Guy Waring's original Duck Brand Saloon, built in 1891, survived the fire and is now the city's town hall. We bring both our tour of Winthrop and our day to a close with a tour of the Shafer Historical Museum. The museum grew out of a home owned by none other than the town's founding father, Guy Waring. Guy had lived in the trading post he had established in the town until after the fire destroyed it, at which point he departed, not returning until 1897 with his wife Helen. His wife was more than a little hesitant to return to the area due to the primitive conditions, so Guy promised to build her a grand home. And he did exactly that, constructing it from hand-hewn logs at a confluence above the Mathau and Chewich rivers. Quite the gaudy construction for the time, it was nicknamed as the Warren Castle by the locals and served as their home until 1916. After their final departure from the city, the home changed hands many times until it was finally purchased by Simon William Shafer. The Shafer family farmed the land for more than 20 years with mixed success until they finally had enough money to buy the Winthrop meat market. Under his management, it did not remain as just a meat market for very long though, quickly growing into a general merchandise store. When the Great Depression began to take its toll, he switched to the barter system, trading for produce, livestock, family heirlooms, tools, and treasures. Finally, in 1943, he decided to purchase the Warren Castle, moving his entire collection up to the estate and opening it as a museum to the public in 1948.
All right, that is going to do it for our day. It looks like we made it a little bit further along the route than we had planned, and that's perfect because I'm looking to be able to finish up Washington tomorrow, if at all possible. We've already finished all of the counties. We only have about 6 pages left to cover in that little northwest section between us and the I-5, and then that's it for the state. We began this morning in Ruby, in the furthest northeast corner of Washington, and from there we've been making our way pretty well steadily west all day long. The pages that we've moved through have been in the mountains and the national forests, and we've been going up and down and through the trees all day long. Aichan, having had the day off yesterday, has had a ton of energy and has wanted to get out with me at pretty much all of the stops today and walk around the forest and help me look for the geocaches, and that we have done. Along the way, we did get to stop off in some small towns, but everything that we passed along our route today was exactly that, small towns. We just happened to luck out coming here into the city of Winthrop as the sun's going down on another day, and we found this beautiful little campground just around the corner from the Shafer Museum where we've parked, and we are going to lay down and get some rest for the night. Thank you guys for joining us on this beautiful tour of the mountains and the national forests along the northern edge of Washington. This is just a stunning place to be able to drive through and enjoy the fresh air and the breezes blowing through the wind. Like this video, subscribe, stay tuned for updates, and we'll see you out on the trails.